Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing today? I want to welcome all of you. I see we have quite a few on the call today. I'm sure you guys are going, where's Limian? It's already 9:01, 9:02. But you know, sometimes these hangouts tend to do what they want to do. We have to make sure our computers are doing what we need them to do. So with that being said, we've got our Bill that's just joining on. You know, he might be in and out with Penny. That's an inside joke. But you know how it goes. What a fabulous week we've had. Lots of great things going on. And it was weird because I woke up this morning around, I guess, 4:50, and I had a migraine. I feel like a migraine was coming on, and then my wife woke up too, and it was weird. And then come to find out, one of my other people who are close to me was up. And sometimes I realized throughout the years on having pain like that, it's not actually pain in my body. It's like something I need to be doing. So what did I do? I got on my phone. I chimed in to Bill, and I told him the next idea that was great, and it was like spectacular. So I thought, wow, I need to get sick more often because you never know. Now, most people who get sick, they're just like, oh, God, I'm dying. But I take that as power. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, hey, I'm sick. That means something's about to come to me. I need to listen. So that, with that being said, how much time do you spend by yourself listening to what you really need to be listening to? I know we go through the day, each day, and we're doing all the grind, but do you really spend time listening to what you need to be listening to? I know that sounds crazy, but I've read and heard a lot of audiobooks that people say you need to spend some time alone with no distractions, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. But you know, that's just something I wanted to share with you, and we've had a fabulous week. Bill, how you doing? You doing okay?
I am great, guys. How are you?
And Bill is going with the No Shave November, as you can tell.
Yep, absolutely. See, you got that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So Bill's going to be in and out. He's in his car. I have no idea where he's going. Man, you travel a lot. You travel way too much. Or are you going to Starbucks? Which one is it, man?
No, I'm in the cut right now. So
okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, guys. Today we have a very, very, very special guest, and let me tell you, I read books, but sometimes I kind of just, I go and find them. But when something comes through the mail for me, I take that as very special. And I read this book within like 3 days. It's the Trust Funnel, guys. This is an awesome book. You're going to see this coming out on the market real soon. Let me tell you, this book has changed me in a few ways because I didn't know this about Brian G. Johnson. Let me tell you, when I first met Brian, it was at the Breakout event. I bet he doesn't remember that.
I don't remember.
and let me tell you, we were having lunch, and I was like, going up, meeting everybody. And something about Brian, it just drew my attention to Brian. I thought, you know what? I need to go talk to this guy. And he sat down and he's like, hey, man, come on down. Let's have lunch. And we sat and had lunch together. And the stories that he was telling me about his Kindle book and all that. See, I just thought Brian was a Kindle guy. But when you read his book, this dude is just amazing. He knows a lot about marketing. I was really blown away. I mean, I was just thinking, from the conversation we had at lunch that day, it was just like, whoa. And for those who don't know what the Breakout event was, this was an event, I believe, was it 2 years ago, Brian?
That would have been 2012.
2012. Yes, it was an awesome event. Bill, I don't think you went to that one, did you, Bill?
No, I didn't get to go to that one. I didn't know about it until like the day before the event.
Yeah, that's right. It was a nice event, met a lot of great people. But anyway, with that being said, guys, I want to introduce you to a nice guy. This dude is awesome. I mean, if you ever see him at an event, you're going to know him. He's the man. With that being said, Brian,
wow.
G, the man Johnson, what is up? Talk to us, brother.
I don't know. That's a lot of pressure to follow that kind introduction. Thank you so much. I feel blessed to be here on the Cup of Morning Joe. So let me do my part.
That's right. Sip away, sip away.
All righty. Yeah, Lem, I remember you. However, you were the crazy guy at the Mayhem event. And I said, holy smokes, Like this brother right here, he's like trying to give me a run for my money on like the crazy scale. And I said, these are my people. And you had on that crazy like Asian kind of, you remember that?
Yes, sir.
And then we hooked up on Facebook, and then I remembered you for real.
Yep.
And your word is Beagles.
Boom!
And I appreciate that. So, you know, first off, you're doing your thing.
Yes,
and
sir.
You got the show here. And I don't know what drew you to my book or me, but, you know, it happened, and it's great to be here. And I'm excited to spend some time with you. So thanks for the invitation.
And for those who know the word Biggles, you got about 10 seconds to go ahead and chime in. You about to win some money. That's the keyword of the day. It's always a keyword.
How much did I win?
Oh, you didn't win. The guest
What
won.
the hell? This is wrong, man. I'm the special guest.
And that's funny you say that because normally I say that word and they know to chime in first to win something awesome. So you just already started this out early. That's good.
I be paying attention, man.
I love it. So tell us where you come. Where are you in the world?
Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs. Okay. How's the weather, man?
Pretty darn nice. It's a beautiful blue sky. It was about 65 yesterday, so it's pretty lovely here. You know, it's neat. You can be golfing in December,
right?
In the springs, and then you can drive up 90 minutes and be skiing on the slopes. So we like to do it all here in Colorado.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome.
Including the dope, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's a thing, though. I mean, it used to be like if you need it medically, right? Like if you're not feeling good, which is just a crock of shit because everyone is like not feeling good.
Right.
But then they're like, well, let's just make it legal. And so, you know, whatever you want to do, that's available.
You are a perfect guest on Cover Joe because everything goes. I love it.
I just, you know, it's the truth.
Oh, my goodness. So let's get into this. Man, I was really amazed with your marketing skills. I mean, your book, I don't want to give too much details because I really want people to get this book. It's an awesome book. And like I said, when I first met you, when you were talking about, you know, at the time you had a few Kindle products out and all that, I was like, this dude has been like a best author. This, and I was like, really? Who is this guy? And now from reading your book, I'm blown away that you know all the criteria of marketing. Like, Bill, if you don't know this about this, but Brian used to be a big SEO guy.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yes. So
used to drive some traffic. Still do, you know.
Right.
I got started with Kindle. It wasn't about being an author. It wasn't about publishing a book. I'm always, every year in the fall, like I'm doing this right now, I'm looking back, I'm saying, you know, what happened in the last year? You know, I'm reflecting, and then I'm also looking forward. Like, what are you going to do next year to continue to basically be able to drive traffic and convert that traffic into an action, whether it's someone signing up to a list, buying a product. And Kindle, it was evident that I could rank a keyword on the Amazon search engine, Amazon site rather, very easily. And I know if I could do that, I know I'm always going to be able to make money because I've done it long enough where I understand conversions. So that's why I got started. And I think I've said that, Lem, so many times, you know, and I think a lot of people probably dismiss it or they don't hear it because they hear like self-publishing and they close themselves off. Where, you know, I think one of the things that's important is to really try to learn to say yes to opportunities, especially good opportunities. If you don't want to write, that doesn't mean you can't publish. Just figure out how to say yes. So that's why I got involved into Kindle, and now I'm kind of taking it full circle, and I'm going to be sharing some strategies that I'm using to build my list and to make money quickly and to gain authority and whatnot through self-publishing.
Wow, you know, there's a lot of people out there who are actually wanting to do that. They just don't know where to start. You know, and I think that's just where it is. They just don't know where to start. And I hear where you're coming from, man. I mean, that's awesome. That is really awesome.
I like that. I mean, I'm excited. Is that what we're going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about a lot, Bill, so calm down. I'm sure Brian will give us some information on that later, right, bro?
I mean, whatever. We're going to talk about whatever.
Before we do that, and there is a part of the book that really, I was sitting on the couch, and for my wife to see me read, and she's like, "Whoa, you're reading?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm reading."
Now you were in the bathroom, right? Because I hear that's where the book is best experienced.
Well, I didn't get that far because I had a chance to relax and actually, spend time on this book. But
Wow.
there was one part in there that I was like, "Oh man, that's so sad," and I felt like sad for you because I felt your pain, man.
Was that the Orlando story?
Yes, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And it just reminded me how some of us local marketers are going in and they're trying to talk to business owners, and then all of a sudden they get that rejection and then they give up. But you had a whole different story with your group. I mean, this is a place that you were trying to go share some knowledge and gain some knowledge, and it just was like, really? I mean, can we talk about that part?
Here's the thing. I talk about everything and everything because, like you said, I've done this a pretty long time.
Right.
For 10 years now. 2003, I've been full-time. I've launched, so expired domain products, SEO product, WordPress product, affiliate marketing, eBay. I have so many different products, so we can talk for a long time. And the particular story you're talking about is really the kind of the transition into Brian G. Johnson, B to the G to the J, boom, pixie dust to 2.0. So, I was starting out, and I went full-time in 2003, and nobody knew who I was. I wasn't trying to sell anybody anything. I was an affiliate marketer. I was driving crazy traffic with Google SEO, and that was it. And I did that for about 5 years. And I got bored because I'm really always wanting to learn something new. I'm always wanting to push my skill set a little further. So by the time I got to 2008, I thought, well, I think I'm going to go into product creation because it's just the natural evolution. So I did that, and as I did that, I was crafting my second product, and I was invited to fly down to Orlando, Florida, to attend a mastermind. So it wasn't a conference per se. There was no big event. It was about 12 guys that were basically heading down to Orlando. They were going to spend some time together, and I was invited in. Now, I was really excited to go, and, I kind of got in my mind that, I'm going to show up, and I'm going to, they're going to love me, and it's going to be so exciting, and, I mean, who doesn't like Brian? I'm an easy guy to get along with. I got a lot of stories, and plus, I mean, I had this thumb drive, and this thing was like the secret briefcase, I had it chained to my arm. I mean, this was some high-level, super secret, like double probation kind of information. And I thought once they saw this, they'd see that, he's a fun guy and he's really smart. So I got there, and people were like flying in from all over the world. And the first day I'm like, well, when are we going to get going? The alpha male was kind of like, well, we have other people flying in, so we kind of need to wait for everybody. So he spent the whole day like running around doing the tourist thing, and I'm like, oh, for goodness sakes, let's just get on with it. So I'm at lunch, and here's where the guys started getting kind of batty. I'm going to call a spade, and the one guy was just kind of goofy, I felt. I'm like, hey, have you heard about that thing and a new plugin and the algorithm with Google? And he's like, I'm sorry, sir, we can't talk about anything until the meeting officially starts. And I thought, what the hell is with these guys? I mean, clearly they've spent too much time in mom's basement, and they're just escaping now. So finally the big day arrives. I've got my tinfoil hat. I breeze through the hotel room. I sit down, and I'm like, let's get to it. And they proceed to tell me that I'm not invited, and they kicked me out. I mean, seriously, they told me to leave. I mean, it's just like, I get on this plane, and I like hurl myself 30,000 feet through the air, and I spent my money, and I spent my time, and I'm in the hotel room, and then I'm like playing tourist in Orlando, Florida, and nobody goes to Orlando to go eat at the freaking Rainbow Cafe or whatever the hell it's called. I'm like, let's get down to business, and it's raining too, just because let's just add another layer. Right. And then finally, I'm in there, and they well, you got to go. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And basically, the guy that was kind of the leader felt that his information was so high level, so super secret, that he could not afford a breach because he learned that I was going into the internet marketing industry and whatnot. So they thought, you know, if you're going to be teaching other people, you're going to give all our secrets away. And I was just amazed. And I kind of remember, Lem, I pleaded for about 40 minutes, and I said, as I kind of left, I'm like, here's how this is going to go, okay? It's a two-way street. Right now, you're looking at the glass as half empty. And I understand you have something to lose. But at the same time, you have something to gain. And I want to make sure that you understand and you're very clear about what happens when I walk out that door. Because once I'm gone, and it's all over, and you've made your decision. And you know, I said, I can bring a lot to this group. I've done this for a long time. I'm not here to steal anybody's ideas. I think if you read my book, Lem, you could agree that. I mean, it's very, it's me. You know, it doesn't sound like I'm ripping anybody else off. I've done this a long time, and I'm not about ripping other people off. Really, what I like to do is to figure it out on my own, figure out what works best, and share my experience. That's what I've always done. And I was kind of saying that. I'm like, I understand that a lot of people would say that, but if you can just go out on a limb, you know, let me bring some value to the group. And they said no, and I left, and I went to my hotel room, and I called my wife. I had a couple glasses of red wine and some shitty appetizers. I had a nice man cry. You know, I'm embarrassed to say that.
That's what I said. Oh, that's so sad. I've been there. I've had a man cry before. I felt him.
Yeah, exactly. And that was it. And the guy that invited me, you know, he was kind enough to drive me to the airport the next morning. And I'm thinking, you know, if you think you're doing me a favor by driving me to the airport, you know.
Right.
And obviously he felt he had more to lose in supporting my decision to stay rather than just kicking me out. So
wow.
I felt, you know, when I wrote that story, Lem, I kind of worried about, you know, what is he going to think? You know, this guy's going to get the book.
Right.
And he's going to read it. And then, you know, I talked to some people because I truly care about people. I want people to succeed. I'm here to support people. But, you know, at the end of the day, sometimes you have to call a spade a spade. Yep. And this guy, you know, what he did was kind of crappy. So there you have it. So, you know, we all struggle, and it doesn't matter where you're at, you know.
You know, that's a good point, you know, and I kind of was questioning that too. I was thinking, now, I know that the guys that he's talking about, all of them are probably reading this, but at the same time, it's your story. It's your book. It's your life story. I mean, you're not going to fabricate it. Why do that? I mean, let's keep it real. And you do like helping people. From looking at your book, you've done a lot, you know, so I'm going, that's deep. And I'm glad that you put that in the beginning, because when you put that in the beginning, it made me want to know and learn more from you, and then all of a sudden I trust you because you opened up your heart immediately. And I was like, wow. So I was hooked after then. I was hooked. I don't know who told you to do that. They did a good job.
Well, I don't know. One of the things I've learned is just, you know, when you're vulnerable, you open yourself to opportunity, and it gives other people a chance to connect because they see the human side. And I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to kind of just speak how I see it, and I'm not going to pull any punches. And I think a lot of our industry is so far removed from that. And I'm tired of the Ferraris, and I'm tired of the girls with the fucking boob jobs, and I just swore. But it's like it's kind of fake, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I want people to know that anybody can succeed, anybody can have it, but there's going to be bumps in the road. Anything worthwhile, you know, there often is. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Love it.
You know, that's true, man. You're not familiar with this group that we're a part of who's watching this right now, but Bill and I kind of made a decision that we were going to do something different. And it's exactly what you're saying. We are actually helping people in our group that you won't find in other Facebook groups, because we keep it real. I mean, we try our best, and it's funny how we start to give ourselves to others, and then others start to do the same thing that we're doing, and all of a sudden this group has exploded with nice and kind, want to be around like people who are giving, you know, and that is awesome stuff. Bill?
Yep. No, absolutely. That is. Actually, you got me really excited to read the book now. I just tried to order it, but it said pre-order, and I was like, what? Come on.
Well, here's the thing. Let's just talk about it for a second, okay?
Okay.
And I want everybody to know that in traditional Brian G. Johnson style, I'm going to really over-deliver. I've actually been, I spent 9 to 10 months on the book. I've been creating the pre-launch now for 2.5 months. It's going to be about 2+ hours of high-level content. And in January, you'll see a lot of information about buying the book at the end of January, beginning of February, and you'll get, the training, probably a live coaching thing. So that's coming, and I would encourage anybody that's interested to hold off and just buy that when the time comes, which will be, a day or two before the launch, which is February 3rd. So at the end of the day, the book is going to launch on February 3rd. You're going to want to buy the physical book because that's going to help me. And it's $5 more than the Kindle version, and in return I'm gonna give everybody lots of information on really what it takes to crush it and make job-ending income, to really just achieve at the highest level. And what this book is really about is understanding and creating a brand, info marketing, lots of stuff like that. So there you have it. It's
awesome.
coming. We're getting closer. It's been a long road,
Right.
No, that's awesome. You got me really excited. Like I am. I'm every time I hear something new, because I know a little bit about you, but I don't know a ton, and this excites me a lot. Because I like learning. So anything new and exciting and fresh, and that's what I like.
Well, I appreciate that, Bill. It's funny. Lem, did you go to the Marketing Mayhem last year?
Yeah, 2 years in a row.
Oh, okay. Did we talk at the first one?
No, we didn't talk at the first Mayhem because that was just fresh in the beginning, and then we connected after that with the breakout. Is that how it worked, or was the breakout first?
No, I think the breakout was first. Yeah, it was in August, man.
No, I didn't go to the Mayhem. I went to the Mayhem before, the year before that.
There wasn't one then, man.
Are you sure?
Hell yeah. You lost your mind, brother.
Was that 2013 then? Yeah, that's right. I did go to the Mayhem 2013 and 14. Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Whatever. I'm just playing with you.
I got videos of it, so I go back and check it.
No, I'm just playing. That's how my book started. Actually, I was asked to speak at the first Mayhem, and I put a presentation together called Trust Funnel. It really, the name of the book is really about the priorities and what's most important. And Steve Jobs has got a quote that I love, and the quote is, "Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things." And so many people, they're unsure. And they're going in 1,000 freaking directions. Ooh. And I don't know how that's working for most people, but for me personally, I didn't have success until I really stopped and I identified where I wanted to go and what was most important. And at the end of the day, what's really most important is connecting with other people on a one-on-one basis. Okay? If you put yourself on video and you are your own brand, it's going to be easier for people to connect with you. This is really old school Zig Ziglar kind of stuff. And Trust Funnel is really that. It's like a marriage between old school sales and marketing, Gary Halbert, Zig Ziglar, Dale Carnegie, the stuff that's been around and working for 100 years, and the technology that we have today. And really what I see is a lot of people that are focusing on the technical details, and they're being slowed by the technical details. But at the end of the day, I can pick up my phone, go like this, create a video, and connect with people, and that's where success comes. So I kind of made this presentation for Mayhem. I called it Trust Funnel. I kind of kept moving forward. I thought it was going to be an ebook. I got with Joel Comm. He said physical book. I signed with Morgan James. And then I just locked myself away. So that's how it came about,
Wow, that's interesting. Speaking of events, could you let the listeners know how important events are?
Well, one of the things I just mentioned is it's really about connecting with people. And when you can attend an event and you can meet with other people, when you can connect at a deeper level, it really gives you a chance to solidify relationships. And it's critically important on a whole bunch of different levels to go to events. I mean, really, if you step back and you look at success online, I think for me personally, what I see is there's 2 or 3 central parts that you have to have. If you don't have them, you won't succeed. Number one, you have to do something. You have to do something that's worthy. Like, Blem, you got my book, right? And you're like, holy smokes, I want to talk to that dude because he did something that I respect, right?
True.
When I had a coaching program and I've been able to coach and lead people, if I put out products on JVZoo that hit bestseller list, when you do things, you know, that's going to draw attention, and that's part of the success you're looking for. And then the other part is to get your message out, to connect with people, and you can get your message out in all kinds of ways. But when you connect with people on a deeper level and they get to know you, then it's much more likely that you're going to do business with those people in the future. You know, one of the quotes that I quote very often in my book is, people listen to those they like, and they buy from those they trust. And when people meet you in person, you have a chance to shine or to scare the hell out of people. So, you know, you want to be authentic. You want to be your real self. You want to just get out there, step into the limelight, find your big boy pants, and just say, hey, I'm here to make it happen. I'm here, you know. Announce your arrival to the world and get out and meet people, because great things can happen when you do that.
That is so true, man. Wow. Bill and I have been going to a lot of events lately and meeting a lot of great people. And, I mean, in the beginning, like my first event was like the Mayhem, whichever one, I think that's the one you're talking about, is where I thought, wow, these people are real. I see them online. And I've had some guys I thought, he's kind of shady. And then, you know, give you the cold shoulder. You know how they get that status where they just too good for you. But, you know, I understand you're busy, but, wow, I've been sending you money all this time. You can't say hi, shake my hand, or give me the nod. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you know, and again, you know, what you're talking about is so old school. It's so Dale Carnegie, win friends and influence people. And when you take a sincere interest in other people, the best you can. And here's at the end of the day, the more success people have, the busier they get. You can't talk to everybody, but I'll tell you what, when I show up to an event, everybody's on the same level. I'm trying to shake everybody's hand, and I want to see people thrive. I want to see people strive. I want to see people go for it. And that's why I carry the message that I do. I mean, I'm the guy that wasn't supposed to win. You know what I mean? I was the guy that was getting C's and D's in high school. I was the guy that people were saying, like, most likely to, like, burn in a fire and lose. You know, I struggled so much with spelling, and people thought I might have dyslexia and these different things. But I succeeded anyway. So when I get to an event, I'm pretty jacked up. I'm pretty excited because I've, you know, lived a life we all dream of. And so I think it's important to try to make those connections. And it's too bad when people feel that they're better than, because, you know, it's a roller coaster, guys. You know, it's like this. There's peaks and valleys, and people go up and people come down. And it's like, if you're on the way up and we meet and you're too good for me, well, later you might be on the way down and I might be on a surge on the way up. And what comes around goes around. You know, another quote that I have is, life is an echo, and boy, is that ever true.
Wow. I mean, you're right, man. I mean, you're right.
I don't know if it's about being right, man. I'm just sharing my experience. You know, this is what works for me.
Right. I totally get it. Totally get it. Now that we've got a pretty good following. You know, Bill and I usually try our best to spend time with everyone. We've never ever given the cold shoulder, and I would never do that because I want to make sure that people know that I'm just not right here in person. They would actually love to spend the whole day with me. You know, that's the way I am,
Yeah.
and that's the way. When I first met you, Brian, that's how you were. I would thought, this is my kind of dude right here. You know, because you're so open and welcoming. You're like, let's sit down and have lunch. And I was like, I was just a small little video marketer then. And I felt so intimidated from what the stuff you knew because I thought, he's got books out. This guy's doing a lot.
Come on.
You know,
It's so funny, though. I mean, my last coaching program, I taught people how to, like, publish a book in 6 hours. I mean, it's just all, you know, it sees like a big deal until you do it, right? It's like you probably were intimidated by video. You're like, oh, shit, man. What kind of camera do I need? Oh, Lord, I don't know. Oh, but what about the backdrop, man? The backdrop ain't right. And then you do it, and you're like, it ain't no big deal.
It ain't a big deal. Just get it out. Just get it out.
Just do it. You know, I think it's like, it's kind of like this halfway point. You just got to do it, and a lot of times when I coach people, I try to get them an easy win, a quick win. And then after they've got a few of those under their belt and they have a little bit more confidence, it's okay, let's try to really deliver value. Let's try to push ourselves, and that can be challenging. But when you do, like, great things can really happen.
Awesome. So how do you stay focused, man? I mean, I'm sure that you have some type of distractions, but how do you stay focused when you're going for your next project?
Well, first of all, you know, I kind of mentioned the quote by Steve Jobs, right? Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things. And that quote comes from, it was like some type of an interview. And in the interview, Steve Jobs is saying that, you know, I'm just as, what is it exactly? I'm just as proud of the things that we've said no to as the things that we've said yes to, because you can't do it all. It's just physically impossible. And, you know, as humans, it's very easy to get overwhelmed. Our brains can only handle so much. So what I do is I simply say to myself, this is what I want to focus with as I move forward. These are the things that are important to me. And in order to achieve and get them done, I've really got to focus my attention to that one thing. So for me, it's like one big thing at a time. And when I do that, it allows me every morning to focus 2 to 3, maybe 4 hours a day, probably 4 days a week, on that one thing. So if I'm launching a coaching program, that's all I'm doing for maybe 2 or 3 months. I'm putting together the best damn coaching program I know how. And every morning I sit down, and it's like, I see a lot of crap, and I'll, you know, I feel like there's so much stuff, and I wonder if it's actually helping people or hurting people. It's like, do you really need a huge freaking flow chart, and do you need to log into Basecamp or whatever the hell it's called? I mean, can't you just say, well, I need to do a sales page and I need to do this? For me, it might be easier. I've done it before, but at the end of the day, I felt the same exact way as a professional chef. I sit at home and I see all the gadgets they sell housewives. Like, here's how you grill vegetables. We got this super fancy pan, and it's got these holes in it, and you put your, like, no, here's how you grill vegetables. You cut them, and you put them on the grill, and you're done. So it's like, by just identifying what's most important and focusing on that, you know, I've been able to move forward, get stuff done. It's in the book, right? The productivity ritual. You know that, Lem. Come on,
right,
baby.
Well, you know, I can't give much out of your book.
No, yes, you can. That's crap, man. I mean, do you think you could really give away everything in my book that you've read in an hour?
Dude, I want people to read this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
there's a lot of good stuff in here, and I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to spill all of it, but I can. Trust me. I mean, I got lots of questions.
No, you can't. You
can't. I'm not gonna go.
I mean, dude, there's 90,000 words in this thing. Are you kidding?
Hey, man, it's not 90,000 words.
Yes, it is.
Is it completely 90,000? I read 90,000 words. You got to be kidding me.
No, I'm not. It's 91,000 words.
I need to tell my son that because he's been watching me read that, and he hates reading. And he was like, "Dad, you almost through with that thing?" I'm like, "Yeah." We drove last night for like 4 hours, and I was just on it. I didn't drive. I made her drive. You know. So
well, I'm glad to know that you were driving. Holy Christ. Man dies.
Right?
That's like my first headline. Man dies while reading Trust
Fund. That is awesome. So
no, it's not, man.
So here's something that I saw in there about SEO. And a lot of our local marketers in here probably deal with the same thing. They feel that competition. Let's just say there's someone already on the first page, and they feel like the competition is already there, and they just can't, even try for it. And I noticed that you said that you were sharing commissions with Adam because
Aiden.
you both because you both were just y'all both just did it, and no one else probably just like forget I'm gonna bail out. I mean, that was awesome concept, man, because I've been there. Let's touch on that a little bit.
Well, okay, let's go through it together. How many places are there on page 1 of Google for the organic listings?
There's 10 places.
Okay, so you're all fearful of the one dude that's sitting at number 1.
Right.
And it's like, here's the thing. It's like you either are going to worry or you're going to move forward and do the work. It's one or the other. Now, the flip side of that story that you mentioned is like Aiden got started with my concepts with selling Halloween costumes. And it's like I probably earned, $50, $60, maybe $70,000 in commissions. I've sold a boatload of Halloween costumes. It's actually started in 2003. I got to get Otis. He's freaking out. He doesn't understand why I'm. Just 1 second.
He noticed, ladies and gentlemen, he said he has to get Otis. All right, I love it.
Come here, buddy. Come on.
But what he's going to tell you guys is about competition, and you're going to notice exactly what he's talking about here. So let's see if we get Otis. That's a keyword, y'all. You should be jumping on that right now. There's old Otis. I love it.
So, like, here's the thing, right? It's like, me and Aiden got started, and Aiden came into my program Commission Ritual in 2009. And he joined at the highest level, so that was my third program, and we had a monthly membership, continuity, and the first month was August, and I said, I'm so excited because I'm going to teach you guys how to, like, crush it in a few weeks. Like, by the time we get to late September, like, the traffic is going to be going through the roof. And he said he was skeptical in the beginning, and he was worried as far as, like, what happens in November, and is it really going to work, and can I really make money selling a $50 costume? But he saw all the results I was getting. He just followed. He practiced some faith, and he started moving forward. And he told me later, after a month, he was amazed, and he started driving traffic right away. He started making sales, and he just kept going. It's like, damn, I'm going to get a few more of these domains. And in 2010, he totally lost it, man. He totally cracked his cranium, and I think he probably registered like 250 to 300 domains, and he just launched a tremendous amount of sites. And that was the year we were both on page 1 of Google. And normally, he was, I think I was a few positions ahead of me, or I was below him. It really didn't matter, but we were both on page 1, and that year we both made about $25K in commissions. And, you can worry about that, or you can just move forward and do it. And it was fun, too, because it's like, hey, there's Aiden, there's Brian. Yeah, we're kicking ass and taking names,
Right.
And that happened probably across 20 different domains that were based on 20 different keywords. So.
Wow. Imagine that. Big commissions on Halloween costumes. And for those who don't realize that, people buy costumes all year round.
Yeah, because you get to November and then they buy, okay, Otis, do you want to go? Whoa, and he's out of here. Yeah, in November they're looking for the discounts. And then you get to the holidays and they're buying Christmas.
Right.
Costumes.
Not to speak about New Year's Eve. Hello.
They got to get them funky glasses, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunity.
Wow. When I read that, I thought, I can't believe I didn't even think about that. Halloween costumes.
Well, there's a lot to think about. There's so much opportunity. It's really all around us. And I remember the first year I did it was 2009, and I was just kind of bored with what I was working on. I had been doing health and fitness for a long time, and I thought, I want to try a seasonal niche because of the surge of traffic that I know that's going to happen. and I was planning on doing Christmas.
Right.
But as I thought about it, I thought, the thing about Christmas is I really don't know all the different things people are going to buy. The spectrum of gifts is much bigger than with Halloween. It's a very small, narrow niche. Everyone's spending their money on a costume or some kind of decoration for their home, and it's a $1 billion industry. So I'm like, well, I think I'll do Halloween and see how that works out.
Right.
And it was that first year was amazing. I didn't know. I just built a little site, one site, and I remember I was running out of bandwidth with GoDaddy, and I was basically, spending $5 or $3 for more bandwidth about every third or fourth day. And the next year, the affiliate manager contacted me and said, we've given you increase in your commissions, and please work with us again. And it was pretty neat.
Wow. You must have been driving some serious traffic, brother.
No, it was like crazy through the roof. Yeah, it was awesome. It was a really great way to drive traffic, for sure.
Wow, that's incredible. So I'm just going through my list of things. I mean, wow, that's that's crazy. How did you come up with that Halloween niche? I know you said you thought I'm just going to go through seasonal, but is there some other niche that you touched on before that it just didn't work out too well?
I mean, really, one of the things that's kind of central to marketing is to really know what people want and to give it to them. And this is a question you can ask yourself on so many levels. What do they want? What does the customer want? So there I am, and it's summertime, right? And I'm thinking, I think I'm going to do a seasonal gig. So the first thing you think of is the holidays. And I'm ready to pull the trigger, and then I thought, well, what do they want? And I was stumped, because it's like I might want a new iPad. Lem, you might want a Kindle device.
Right.
Bill, he might be interested in, I don't know, something for his yard, or maybe something for his car. And someone else might want, there's just so many different gifts, and Halloween, again, it's like so many people are buying costumes, and then it was just narrowing down and coming up with domains based on the costumes that people would be buying. It's really just having that forward thinking of what are people going to want, what's going to be driving the traffic. And so many people, like you said, Lem, they're like, oh, but it's going to be competitive. And you're probably thinking about the part in the book where I'm like, and one of my customers actually wrote me a message, and he's like, Brian, I think you're the greatest, and you're an honest guy, you're ethical, it's clear that your methods work, but here's why this method is failed and wrong, and here's the flaw. It's like all your students are going to be competing against you, and it's going to really saturate the market, and there's not going to be an opportunity for everybody. And at the end of the day, that was the reason why he was able to say no. And all you need is one reason why it's going to work. Because let's just call a spade a spade. This is all kind of crazy. Like, to be able to have quit my job as a chef in 2003 and to be able to have made millions of dollars online, that's freaking crazy. But if you just have a little bit of faith and try, great things can happen. And I gave it a go, and it worked, and I knew there would be plenty of opportunity for my students, because like if I asked you to name, like if I say, Lem, I need you to name me 100 Halloween costumes, or I swear to God I'm going to hunt you down and it's not going to be pretty,
right?
You would come up with 100, right? And then on top of that, it's like, well, then some people you're going to say like Dracula costume. And then there's going to be some bigger people that want plus-size Dracula costume.
Right.
Then there's going to be like kids Dracula costume. Then some people don't call it kids, they call it children's Dracula costume. And then it's going to be not a witch costume, but a candy corn witch costume. Or Glinda the Good Witch costume. Or like Wizard of Oz green Halloween costume. I mean, it's just so many opportunities. And if people can really figure out how to say yes to opportunity, and instead of focusing on why it won't work, just move forward, take action, and have a little bit of faith. I mean, basically, amazing success starts here first. Like, you're not going to have it until you believe that it's possible. If you don't think it's possible, if you're nervous, and I understand, I've been there, But the cold, hard truth is, if you can't envision it up here, how can it ever come to fruition? So you might as well start trying to figure out how to get the results you want and move forward. Find the people that are doing what you want to do and frickin' copy them. That's what I did. I didn't know about any of this. I just copied people to success.
Man, you know, that is the word that we try to give out all the time, is just take action. If you believe in it, do it. It's not going to work for everyone because they're not going to believe it's going to work for them. As soon as they cut that off, they're done, you know? And when I see someone on the first page or whatever, I always treat it as a challenge. And I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I know lots of people who do that. And I know lots who go, I give up. There's already a person there. And they don't realize it's on the first page. You can be on the bottom and still create traffic if your video or whatever is different from the first couple of guys. Because they're going to check all of you out. Normally they do, you know? So
yeah, and especially it really depends, too, on, like, what the search is.
Yep.
Like, let me just add a little thought to that. So you know the whole bonus game and, like, sniping a product?
Right.
So the big keywords in that method is basically review and bonus. And I want to back up just for a half second in case someone doesn't know what I'm talking about. And basically the method is that you follow internet marketers that have a following, and you basically queue yourself up to the products they're going to be launching in the future, and then you launch a simple website based on that product, and you add a bonus. And if anybody buys through your link, you give the customer the bonus. So the big keywords to target, again, are review and bonus. Now, if someone is searching for bonus, they're going to probably buy. There's a good chance they're going to buy.
Right.
And if they're searching for freaking bonus, there's probably a good chance they're going to check more than one freaking listing because they want the best bonus.
Hello, ding, 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 ding.
So it's like, you know, it's like instead of worrying about, it's like if I'm in the top 3 or 4 places for, you know, product name bonus, I'm going to win because I'm just going to make sure that I put together a bonus that's got it, you know, together and something that people are going to find valuable. So a lot of times it's not just, you know, thinking about, you know, I need to be number 1. It's thinking about creating a message that connects with people. And again, right, know, like, and trust.
Right.
Deliver some value, and people are going to in fact, it's funny, I started writing the third piece of pre-launch content, and I thought of this launch. This is weird that this is happening. And this was when nobody knew who I was. I had released one product. I had a list of maybe 2,000 people, and I ranked for the bonus thing. I had the small list, and I crushed it on this launch. Like 20 or 50 JV partners, and I was number 3 because I basically converted, you know. And anyway, I kind of went off on a tangent there.
That's all right, brother. We got your back. Speaking of JV partners, because, you know, people don't realize you can't do it all by yourself. You can try, but it's much better to have JV partners. How did you, and it's for those who are just trying to, you know, release their own products and all that, how did you come up with your JV partners? Because there are a few that you got to select that, you know, that really do good work, and I'm sure there's some you don't really deal with.
Yeah. So basically, the thing that I really think about when I'm working with people is this going to add value for my subscribers? You know, there's kind of a couple parts of the equation, you know, like what I'm going to bring to them, is it going to work for them, is the product vendor that I'm supporting, what's the likelihood of them supporting me in the future, and does that matter to me or not? Because sometimes it might not. If there's a really great product and it's being put out by Frank Kern, he's probably not going to mail for Brian Johnson. Probably not happening. Not this year anyway. But you know what I mean? So it's like, but if I can make great money, and if I feel like it's a really good fit for my list, then I'll go ahead. If I'm looking for reciprocity, if I'm looking for that other vendor to support me, then, you know, I want to take that into consideration too. But first, it's really just about is this something that I feel good about bringing to my list? And the other thing I want to add is lots of people are doing it in a way that's a lot less effective, and it's hard, and it's freaking heartbreaking, soul-crushing, and I want to share with you some things that have helped me to move forward. And that is, like, you're so excited to create that first product, and you feel like, man, I've worked so hard, and I'm totally out on a limb, because if this thing doesn't work, I'm done. I'm not going to make any money. Bill, why are you smiling? Are you just happy? Are you just generally happy?
Pain. He feels your pain. We feel you, man. Come on. Keep preaching, brother.
Okay, so it's like, you know, you feel like it's your freaking life on the line, and it's like your left leg, and then you're like, you got to help me promote, man. I swear to God, this is the best product you've ever seen in your life. And you're probably talking to someone that's three levels above you.
Right.
Okay? So it's like someone at 3 levels above you, they're already working with 25 people, and there's a really good chance that those 25 people are going to support them. So, like, you're working hard on your product, and then you go and you're like, me, and if you just do it for me, and then when you mail for me, and at the end of the day, you can do that, and if you're lucky, you might get maybe 1 or 2 people to support you. But instead, if you can think about the other person, and if you can think of establishing a relationship first, and everyone talks about this, but I'm going to go a level deeper, okay? And what I did is when I launched my 3rd product, I did incredibly well. I sold 2,500 copies. The product generated, you know, well into 6 figures. I was amazed. I couldn't believe what was happening. And I had this list of customers, and it was a tremendous asset. And I looked at the people I could work with, and I said, okay, what do my customers need? And it was SEO. So, like, what is the first product that is really helpful when it comes to SEO? A good keyword tool. So I went and found the guy that I felt had a really good keyword tool that I could teach, that I could work with and whatnot. And I went to him and I said, I would love to bring you on and do a webinar together, and if I can help sell your keyword tool to my list, that would bring a lot of value to me. It would make money for me. It would help my list. And we did that, and I really didn't talk about my product. But it's pretty natural if someone's on a webinar, like, well, what do you do? What's your commission ritual about? Oh, it's, you know, my experience in driving traffic and converting it and making money, and we did really well. We sold 2,500 units, and we actually did 2 webinars for my product with that same individual. I did, I should say. So by really going after other people and trying to help them, you will win. Now, here's another level that I want to share, because I see so many people at events, and they run up to me, and I've known them for 3 minutes, and they say, how can I help you? How can I help you? It's like so disingenuous. I mean, seriously, it drives me nuts, man. I mean, if you get to know me, like, Lem, how can you help me? Do you have any idea how you can help me right now?
You know what, brother? All I want to do is know how you're doing before I can help you.
Well, it's like if you show general interest in somebody,
right,
pay attention to what they're doing, you're probably going to be able to figure out how to help that individual on your own. Like, if you're on Facebook and we're friends, there's probably a chance you've seen my book, Trust Funnel.
Right.
I haven't. Now, if you really think about this, which is kind of interesting, I don't really post a lot about my book.
Nope.
I don't. I send my book to people. Some people post pictures, some don't. People know, and I'm not asking for help.
Right.
But people are like, a lot of people are like, man, I really like what you're about. Let me know. I would love to help you. So if you take genuine interest in other people, it's going to be apparent how you can help them. You don't have to ask them. And the other thing is, you don't need 1,000 people. You know, you just need 3 or 4 good partners for your first launch. Maybe try to go for 5 or 10 the second time. So those are some ideas about, you know, partnerships that have really served me well.
That is neat. That's great information, my friend. That is awesome. Bill, you're muted and we can't hear you when you came back in.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
No, I was gonna say, you know, Yeah, no, that's just awesome. I don't really have very many words other than I'd really like to get your book. So.
Well, I'll send it to you, Bill. Are we friends on Facebook?
Nah.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think
Are
so.
you on Facebook?
Yeah, he's on
No, I'm not
Facebook.
on Facebook.
He's on Facebook, but I don't think you guys are friends because it would have showed up. Anyway.
All right. So
All right.
why don't you connect with me and then send me a message and I'll send you a book in the mail.
That'd be awesome.
Awesome. Brian, is there a place where people can go and seek out you right now online?
You bet. MarketingEasyStreet.com.
Nice. Marketing Easy Street. And this is your personal website, correct?
Yeah, it's basically like my personal trust funnel site,
Awesome.
which is like a marketing blog.
Great. Good stuff. Wow. Bill, did you have any more questions before I went on? 'Cause I know you're in and out.
This is really good. I mean, like, I love, like I said, I love learning new information, and, you know, I've heard about you, I've seen stuff before, but I didn't know that much in depth, and now I feel like, oh my gosh, like, there's just so much information, you know, but it's exciting. That's really good.
Well, I appreciate it, guys, and you know the thing, it's the same for me. I feel blessed that you guys invited me on the call today, and Lem, I got to know you a bit more over the last 6 weeks to 2 months. And, you know, I'm always giving you the thumbs up because I want to tell you, Lem, that I really appreciate your positivity. I appreciate your smile, and the world needs a lot more of that. And,
Yes, we do. Thank you so much.
no, I mean, for real, you know, because there's a lot of crap that's happening, and there always will be. There will always be things that we could focus on, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, I could post a lot about Ebola, but I'm not in a position to really help, you know, and make sure that people are safe or whatnot. So I try to do the best I can do with what I have available, and so I just really appreciate your positivity and your smiles. And Bill, it's been a pleasure, you know, getting to know you, and I'm excited to watch you guys move forward and do your thing, because, you know, now I know, and it's just really such a pleasure to watch people. Someone asked me once, like, who are your favorite, you know, who are the people that inspire you? And a lot of people are like Frank Kern or Sir Richard Branson,
Right.
and I think that's fine, but, you know, the people that really inspire me are my friends that dare to dream, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so many people that don't dare to dream, and we're all deep in our dreams. It's a beautiful thing, you know? So when I get to watch you, Lem, when I get to know you a little bit more, when I get to see you come on and do this show, and I know you're going to do more of them, and I know you're building a list, and I know you've got a message, that's awesome. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of, you know, your life and your adventure and your journey.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
One more thing. What is the day in life? Because, you know, I saw a video of a bear in your backyard, Brian, and I was like, oh, my goodness, he has a bear in his backyard. You're like, there's a bear in my backyard, Otis. Oh, my goodness. And I could not believe it was a freaking real bear.
Well, it's like, it was funny because, so right now I'm sitting we're renting right now. We're actually building a house above Colorado Springs. Like, this house we're building is, I can't even believe we're building. It's just it's been a dream of mine for 20 years to live in Colorado with the view and whatnot, and that's exactly what we're building. And we moved out of our house about 6 months ago, and we moved to the Broadmoor area. And Broadmoor is a little older, and there's all these huge deciduous trees. It's beautiful, and we have this fenced-in backyard. And I sit in this little office. It's kind of dark and whatnot, and it's lovely, but you know, the yard is what really sold us. And I'm doing my work, and I'm doing my product, my morning focus. What is it called? It's my ritual. I can't remember. There's too many things. But anyway, and then one day it's like, holy freaking crap, there's a big dog climbing on my fence, and I'm like, oh my God, it's not a dog, that's a bear! And then I'm like, so I'm trying to get my video camera, because like clearly everyone on Facebook is tired of kittens and bacon. So I'm like, if I can show them a bear, I'm sure that's worth 75 likes, you know? But the bear is gone. So then a week later, I'm at my computer. It's 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and there's that damn bear. And this time he comes over the fence. He's rolling around in my yard. He's like in the flower garden. I'm like, the hell? He thinks he's a dog, and like I'm gonna give him a Scooby snack. So we got wildlife here.
Oh, that is
Wow.
so awesome, man. That is so awesome.
Hey, Lem, did you see my Halloween video?
Yes,
Oh, that's right.
I
right.
commented on that. Yes.
Yeah, I remember. That was fun. I really liked making that, man.
Oh my goodness, you are such a treat, man. And you know what? I respect everything you do, and I really appreciate you sending me this book because it was an awesome read, and I'm gonna go through it again because there's a few pages I was marking on there, and I was like, come back and read this again. I thought, wait a minute, this is my copy. I can write on this.
Yeah, right. Well, awesome. I'm glad that you're finding it helpful because I wrote it for folks like you,
Right.
and if you were inspired by it, if it helps your journey, if you read it and you're still reading, that's freaking amazing because my publisher kept telling me to stop.
Right.
Stop writing! I got more.
Right. That is awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, of course, this was another episode of Saturday Cup of Joe, an amazing, awesome hour of Cup of Joe. You can check the replay on SaturdayCupofJoe.com/live. There's always a replay. Want to give a shout out to Rebecca, who puts this all together for me each and every week. You can also get ready to see the Trust Funnel coming to you in February there. It's going to be out real soon.
Author.
He's the author of the Trust Funnel. Like to thank Bill is on again with us. Love it when Bill shows up. He's normally traveling the globe. I'm not hating because, I just told him, hey, I got to quit traveling for a while. The home front's got to keep me here. I got to stay on for a while. She's getting mad at me traveling all the time. She don't think I'm working. But I am actually working, so it's all good. Once again, Brian, give us your website again.
Earth, planet Earth. You can find me on the planet Earth. Beep, beep, pop. Hey, marketingeasystreet.com. You can find some books on the Amazon.com by me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Lem, Bill, it was great to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
I just want to say one thing before I leave, and that is people do not fail at internet marketing. They simply give up before the magic happens. You can do anything you set your mind to. Peace, love, and pixie dust.
And there you have it, guys. Comment in the group today. Remember, for those who are not, well, let's just say for those who are still in the shadow, it's time to come out of your shadow. Ask questions. That's what it's for. We have lots of great experts in the group who can guide you. Be looking out for the next episode of Cup of Joe. And we might have a delay next weekend because Bill and I are going to Memphis. And this is one of those times that we are going to probably do the show during the week early or after. So with that being said, on behalf of myself and Bill, I want to thank you again, Brian. Have a great day, guys. Have a blessed day. Don't give up. We'll talk to you guys later.
See ya.
Peace.